jacket, feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, my ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to be back. We are back on the Stalker train, apparently, back on the McCann, Wandelt Stalker train. Apparently, back in court today, and we're hearing more of this depraved stalking that Julia Wandelt dished out to the McCann family. And it just doesn't get any better. It gets worse and worse, and you hear the things that this woman said to this family, and you realize it is literally a nightmare. Like, we always talk about people who annoy victims' families, and this is the pinnacle. This is the worst that you could imagine. It really is. And I don't know, I know a lot of people don't like the McCann family, and that's, you cannot like them for sucking up all the funding and things like that. But when you hear what they went through with this, I have a lot of sympathy for them because it must have drove them up the wall, literally up the wall, with what this woman was doing. And I'll take you through some of it. Look, we have another court sketch for you. We have another court sketch right here. Look, this is a good one. Hold on, what's going on with my microphone? There we go. Does it work? There we go. Hey, good to see you all. Hey, good to be back again tonight. Hey, Kim, good to see you. Wendy's here. Rachel's here. Snap, Crackle, Pop. And Danny's here. Who else is here? Rachel made it. Mr. Dan Yee. Gail is here. Good to see you all. Mamma Mia made it. I don't know what's going on with the time change recently in Australia. It's almost like our shows are no longer lining up with the Americans, and I don't understand why, because only I've moved time, not you guys. And the time I'm still coming on is the same time we've always done for the late show. So I don't understand why we're sort of not connecting with everyone at the moment. It's a little bit disconcerting for Ping, because I don't know, I didn't change anything. It's strange. Here. So I'm going to take you through some of what happened today in court. And it's more of this pestering by Julia. And you hear some of the things like they heard about messages sent to the family Julia claiming that her DNA was a match, including a 69.23 match to samples from the crime scene contained within the Portuguese police files into Madeleine's disappearance. Sure, okay. I did some research on this, and full siblings, on average, share about 50% of their DNA, with a typical range of 38 to 61%. Parent-child DNA shares on average around 50% of any parent. So roughly 50-50, right? So there's two people, normally a mother and a father, but could be a mother and a mother, could be a father and a father, however way you want to talk about it. But there's only roughly 50-50 split. And with a grandparent-grandchild relationship, it's around 25% shared DNA. So a 70% match would be above average. It would be higher than you would expect. It'd be far higher. So she's apparently just extraordinary in everything she does, according to herself. So in one distressing message, she claimed to have been R-worded on May 12th of last year, the day of Madeleine's birthday. Wandelt apparently started crying and sobbing loudly and left the dock when another message she sent to Mrs. McCann was about being abused. And she wrote in this message, I was R worded and molested underground. I saw other children being abused so badly. You can stop this torment. You can help me. She went on and said, if you don't want me to be depressed, talk to me. I know science can't lie. I know I am your daughter. In an earlier message, she said, I was trying to shout, Mummy and Daddy. I could not say anything. I could not shout. I could not do anything. And what she's describing there is the night Madeline was taken. She says she has this memory of trying to shout, Mummy and Daddy, and I could not say or do anything. And then in another voicemail, she asked Mrs. McCann, what if I'm her? I know you probably think Madeline's dead. Well, she is not. I really believe I'm her. Help me. Don't think Madeline is dead. This is a chance. Please, I beg you. She continues and said, the police don't want to help me. They don't want to help Madeline. It's all corrupt. I promise you that I will prove who I am because I know you love Madeline. I mean, no wonder the McCann family was so stressed out and annoyed. It is over the top. It's relentless. It is playing on memories of the poor family. I mean, like I said before, this is the worst nightmare for a family who's had a young child go missing. No matter what you think happened to Madeline, this is a nightmare, like an actual nightmare. They would be going through life just wondering when this crazy person is going to show up, is going to hurt them, is going to get angry because they're not buying into what she is saying. Who knows what happens next? So no wonder they got authorities involved. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Another message she said here, and this is to Mrs. McCann. I cry when I hear your voice. I feel this connection. I don't know how to explain it. Yes, it's called being mentally ill. That's what it is. Uh, she added, I always thought that you are innocent. I feel in my heart that you did not want this to happen. I know people judge you and they judge me too. I know you probably finished, close this chapter in your life, and I know you probably don't want to open this again, probably, but I always want to hear your voice. As if this woman has spoken to her before, and somehow they have this magical connection. The jury heard Wandelt sent a message to Mrs. McCann at 1 a.m. saying, I don't understand why you don't want to do a DNA test with me. Pretty sure we all know the reason why they don't want to do a DNA test with her. And she says here in a voicemail left at the property, I know it was you, Jerry. You answered the call. Why is it so hard to answer the call and speak with me? I haven't done anything wrong. If you're looking for Madeline, you should do a test with me. In another message, this time to Kate, Mrs. McCann. Hello, I'm Julia. I think I'm your daughter, Madeline. I have never lied. I beg you to stop blocking my number, please. In a text message, she said, I beg you, you are my real mother. Give me a chance to prove it. And in another voicemail, she said, I was R worded on birthday, 12th of May, 2023. It's Madeline's birthday. I need you, please. You are mum and know it's me. This is just some of it. This is just some of the things that she's gone to the family with. And if you ask Ping, it highlights why why some of the things in true crime that cross into uh talking to victims' families, but also when you're trying to meddle with things that are, very sensitive, the people that were supporting this woman, having Facebook groups, donating money to her so she could find her real parents and get to the McCanns, they all have a small part to play here. All of them. They all have a part to play in this woman sitting where she is today in jail, basically, in this trial. Because I feel like if everyone sort of shut her down early on, it may not have been as bad as it is now. I don't believe she would have ever stopped, but I think part of it is that people gave her oxygen. People gave her oxygen for that fire. So she continued and then bought into her own lies and was like, well, I want to keep going because I got a taste of that fame and I got a taste of being famous. So this is the only thing that's ever worked. Because if you know the history of Julia, she has tried to claim to be missing children before, but it's never worked. This one worked, and she was able to get a lot of exposure, a lot of media coverage, a lot of people giving her money, and she's like, this is my ticket. And it is those people who bought into her conspiracy nonsense are partly to blame here. And it's a problem. It's a problem. This is why you have to be very careful when people come out and start claiming they're missing children 30 years later or whatever it is. It's look where we are today. We're now reading about this torture that she put onto the family. Torture, and it would be. Their emotions and anxiety, including their children, must have been through the roof for 3 years that this woman had been harassing them. It is way worse than any of us ever thought. Now, Julia had come to the UK. She had tried to approach family members and Mrs. McCann and Jerry before. And on this final time she came to the UK, um, she wrote to Spragg. Spragg is the other woman who is accused of helping her. And she wrote to her saying, can we meet at East Midlands and go to Leicester? Go to the hospital where Mrs. McCann works. I just need to see her. I need to make her look at me and talk to me. I need your help, but if you don't want to, I can understand. Spragg replied, I can do it Monday, in which Wandelt said, okay, sounds awesome. Following her arrival into Britain, the pair were arrested at Bristol Airport in February. Ay, ay, ay. The court also heard Spragg sent an email to Mrs. McCann in which she too claimed Wandelt's DNA was a match, and she wrote, Julia is not crazy. She is sound of mind or sane. She is of sane mind. Julia has proof of this. I don't think she has any proof of being Madeleine McCann. And some of the things that she claimed to the family, like being R-worded on Madeleine's birthday, what a horrific thing to say to the family. What an absolutely disgusting thing to actually put into anything, the air, the world, yet alone to this family. Um, just what this woman, for the sake of everyone, needs to be sectioned and taken away and put into a mental hospital for the next 25 years. And that's not me being cruel. That's for her own benefit. She is a not well person. Um, I think she's partially of sound mind and she knows what she is doing is wrong. But I also believe she is somewhat mentally ill too. And for the sake of everyone, including herself, she should be sentenced to a mental institution because what she is doing is it is just horrific. It really is. I know a lot of people don't like the McCanns, and that's fine. I understand the reasoning behind it. I've followed the Madeline McCann case for 20 years. I know why people don't like them, um, and that's fine. But at the same time, you can understand how this is very wrong, and you would not want this to happen to anyone. Even someone you think for a billion different reasons, maybe not good people, you still wouldn't want this to happen to them. Like, Kate McCann must have been absolutely beside herself when she has this woman contacting her saying, I cry when I listen to your voice or when I see you. You are mummy. You know it's me. You know I'm not crazy. No, she does know you're crazy. She does. Um, the court previously heard that Wandelt called and messaged Kate McCann more than 60 times in a single day in April last year, including about her alleged memories of the missing girl's abduction. Almost 100 times in one day, or just over 50, 60 times in one day she contacted the McCann family. What else was she doing throughout that day? That's like calling every minute for an hour. Every single minute, she'd make a phone call for an hour. Just imagine that. Imagine for 1 hour in a day, every minute you make a phone call to the same number and leave a 30-second message. That's what she was sort of doing. Um, it's frightening. It really is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like that message about how she was R-worded and molested underground, and she claimed she saw other children being abused so badly. You can stop this torment. You can help me. I, yeah. It's just so, it's really, really cruel. It's very, very cruel. Uh, yeah, very, very cruel. So. She also added here, you are my mother. It's science. No one can deny it. I am not a scammer. I am your daughter. And she says she's almost a 70% match to what exactly? To Kate McCann? You would be more likely to be her sister than her child at 70%. That's not the way DNA works. I am 100% match. I'm 100%. I'm 100% match. So that wouldn't make sense. That would be like a woman, literally, the Virgin Mary, having a child. Like, there was no outside input into that birth. It just, you know, she's she had the child herself, fertilized it, like one of those lizards that you see that can like have their own children. Have you seen that? They have these lizards that can get themselves pregnant and have babies. Uh, that's sort of what she's claiming here, in a way. It is very twisted. I agree. But Popcorn said she probably has delusional illness, some type of schizophrenia. It could be. It could be. Marjorie said, did she do a regular autosomal DNA test? I can't remember yeah, I'll look it up. I can't remember what one she did, but it basically proved she was not her. The other thing is she does not have the eye condition that Madeline McCann has. Like, that is the first thing that you would look at in anyone claiming to be Madeline McCann. And like I told you the other day, it doesn't heal, it doesn't go away. The people who abducted you can't give you an eye transplant. They can't fix it in some way to stop people recognizing that you're Madeline McCann. That's not a real thing. I'll look it up here. Julia Wandelt DNA test. I'm just trying to see what kind of DNA test it was. I'm pretty sure it's just like where she like sent it away to some company and got a result. Yeah, let me see if I can find out what it was. Oh, yeah, it was, I remember this now. She shared a some expert in DNA, some guy that is worldwide expert or something. Yeah. I, um, I have very big questions about that. I don't believe I think it was fraudulent. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure who it was. It was, yeah, I'm just trying to find the company. There was a company who did it. I remember we reported on it at the time. I just don't have it in front of me. I'm not sure. I can't remember. She got some famed worldwide person to do the DNA test, and you know, yeah, she is a Polish girl, 100%. She is from Poland. Betsy said, "You said she's done this before to other people. How did they get rid of her?" She contacted some charities in Poland claiming to be missing girls and saying that, I'm now grown up and now I'm the, whoever. I think they just basically said no, no. They just told her no and she gave up. Yeah, I'll find out. You know, let me see if I can find it. So she claimed to be these other missing girls. There's a couple in Europe that are very like not popular, but are extremely well known, and she claimed to be them too. And the charity basically shut her down and basically said, "No, you're not. You're not the. You're not them at all." Yeah, I think I've got the details here. Okay. So the court heard that Wandelt contacted a charity called Missing Years Ago, which helps with historic missing person cases in January or February of 2023, dates which coincided with Julia's assertion she was Madeline McCann. The initial contact with the charity was not to contend that she was Madeline McCann, but rather to suggest she was another missing girl, Inka Gariki. I'm probably butchering that, and I'm sorry about that. They say that particular missing girl was a young girl who disappeared in Germany. But as with Madeline McCann, Julia was precluded from being a realistic candidate by virtue of her age and obvious differences. So let me show you if I can get a photo of this one, and I'll show. There was actually another girl she claimed to be as well back in the day. So this was the other missing girl, another blonde-haired little girl. There you go. There is the girl. Looks nothing like Julia. Looks nothing like her at all. Looks nothing like Julia, not even a little bit. There you go. So this is the other missing girl she claimed to be. I'm just trying to find out. So that girl is a missing German girl at the age of 5, disappeared from a family barbecue on the 2nd of May, 2015. 2015? Julia's like 20. She would have been like almost 10 years too old. She would almost be a decade too old to be this missing girl. That girl, if she was alive today and she was 5 in 2015, so she was born 2010, she'd be like 15 today. She'd be 15 years old, this missing girl, this other missing girl that they're talking about. Not even close. Not even close to the same age. How do you disappear at a family function? I don't know. I actually don't know about this little girl. I've not looked into it very much. So here is what it tells me. On the evening of her disappearance, I'm going to say it's Inga. but I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, wanted to help her family and friends prepare for the barbecue. Her father saw her carrying two large water bottles on the property's footpath. Shortly afterwards, at 6:30, two children saw her making her way towards the house at the end of the footpath, but she never arrived. At 6:45, her mother noticed that she was missing. She and the other attendees searched the property and the adjacent forest but were unable to find her. Thousands of volunteers, cadaver dogs, and helicopters with thermal imaging searched thousands of hectares of land around the property but were unsuccessful in locating her. Police did not initially suspect foul play in her disappearance. However, police later concluded that a crime had been committed, whereafter her whereabouts remained unknown by the 7th of May. By 2019, 4 years later, no trace of her had been found despite more than 2,000 tips and a €25,000 reward being offered. Detectives officially closed the case later that year. So there you go. Apparently, in 2023, it was reopened, and that the child's image was printed on drink bottles to help spread her awareness and images around Europe. They also doubled the reward to €50,000, and they say despite more than 20 tips coming in and more than 30,000 bottles being sold, it didn't lead to any information about that missing girl. So she's been missing for about 10 years now. It is very sad, right? Emile. They have found Emile though. That little boy in France, Emile, they ended up finding him last year, I think. Last year. Gail said, "Where was this? I lived in Germany and didn't know of her." In Germany. In Germany. There you go. Um, I can't pronounce this, but I'll put it in the chat and you can tell me if you know the area. No, that's not how you do that, ping. Yeah, it's like this and then like this. There you go. She's from this town. Saxony-Anhalt? Probably not how you pronounce it, but that's how you say it in Australian. That's how you say it like that. By the way, Lisa, I appreciate it. Um, there was another person who gave away a membership yesterday. That was Jay. Jay, I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you and very sweet of you to do that. I very much appreciate it. So Jay get gifted a membership yesterday at the end of the show, and we had ended the show before I could see it. So I appreciate that to Jay and Lisa. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. With the problems with YouTube over the last what is it now, 7 weeks or so, it's very kind of the people who have been doing super chats and donations because the ad revenue has just fallen off a cliff in what is it? Yeah, since August. Since August, they made a change to the algorithm, and it's just not what it was before. It's really, I don't know. Hopefully, they fix it eventually. But like I was telling you the other day, we were getting like say 100%, whatever that is, month after month after month, and then after August, it dropped to like 1% of what we were getting. So it's been very, very difficult. But so I appreciate the people that are helping out. Um, yeah, let's continue. All right, so that is like your big updates from the court. I don't know what else to tell you except for she just needs to be put away for her own sort of safety and for the family. Someone in chat asked, what would the potential sentence be? It depends. I'm not sure if they're doing this as a mental health type court case, which those do happen. But I believe she could be sentenced to time in a mental ward, like a mental hospital. Let me see. I'm just trying to see if I can find. So apparently, for stalking, it's up to 10 years imprisonment in jail for the charges that she has been charged with. But I would suspect that they would, if she's found guilty, and then they charge her with that, not charge her, if they sentence her to 10 years in jail, that they would then say she's sentenced to 10 years in jail, but in a hospital, so she can get mental health help, because she definitely needs it. It was proven in court, by the way, that she had used AI to modify photos to make her look more like Madeline. So that should, tell you, be very wary of photos you see doing that. Danny says, does she have real parents? She does, who have said that they know she's not Madeline, that she is their daughter, and that apparently their relationship has been strained over a number of years because of her behavior, her saying stuff like she is Madeline McCann, all this type of thing. So her relationship with her family is quite strained. Chipmunk said, sadly, I don't think that means getting help or rehabilitation to get better. Well, maybe not. Lisa said, I'm supporting you because I don't know what the F is. I don't know what the F is going on with YouTube. Me either. It's been really, really difficult. Betsy said UK is where she would be. Yeah, the trial is on in the UK. I just want to see if, you know, yeah. So under Section 37 of the Mental Health Act 1983 in the UK, someone can be sent to a mental hospital instead of prison for a crime through a hospital order. So they would be convicted, and then they would issue a hospital order after conviction for an offense that would lead to imprisonment. Problem with that is that order requires medical evidence from two doctors stating that the person has a mental disorder and is in need of hospital treatment. That's what we would have to look at. So if she is sentenced, we would then have to look at whether her defense and her attorneys would try and get her that diagnosis to present to the court to then get transferred to a hospital. So Mamma Mia said, why does she want to be Madeline so bad? I don't think it's got anything to do with Madeline McCann. Like I told you guys, I think it is a very misguided attempt to be famous. That is my opinion from looking at everything. I don't think it's so much that it's about um, a missing child. I think she's always wanted to be something other than ordinary. And her way of doing that was to be claiming to be these missing children. Like I said, she's claimed to be other missing children in the past. And I think when she claimed to be Madeline, it set off such a media wildfire that she really liked it. She got to be on Dr. Phil and she got flown to America and people were giving her loads of money, and I think she got a taste of being famous, and she got what she wanted, but she went too far, and now where we are today. Texas Roadrunner said, had she had something traumatic happen to her in the past? I don't know. I don't know whether anything she claims is true, and the fact that she is an admitted liar, I don't know. We don't know whether any of these R word claims or molestation claims are true. They could be or they could not be. It's hard to know. Don't know. Gail said the hospital wing of the prison is not very nice. There you go. She needs to read self-help books. She needs something. Texas said, "Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll maybe we'll find out." So if she is found guilty and then they want to sentence her, we would find out any mitigating factors, and maybe that would come up in mitigating factors. I don't know. Hey, night janitor, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Chipmunk says, I wonder if she saw that Law and Order episode. A person came forward claiming to be their long lost child. I think I remember that one. Maybe she saw it. Do they know why Madeline? I don't think it's about Madeline as such. Yeah. So, okay. Danny said, nope, Psychopath Ward is not where she wants to go. Maybe not. It could be SVU. I think it was SVU. And there was was it a boy that came forward to claim that he was a missing child? I think so. All right, let me see if I can get you something that is not me talking, because, I don't think we need that all the time. Here we go. Let me get you an update from one of our UK channels. Let me see if I can. Yeah, past 24. Okay, that's weird. All right. Strange. All right, give me 1 second. I just want to check if we can get this going. No, I don't see one. Okay, I can't give you one. Sorry about that. I can't do it. Uh yeah, you're not going to get a video today, unfortunately. Have we talked about good what? I'm not sure. Rachel said, thanks for the update. I hope this fine. Yeah, look, I think the evidence is overwhelming, and I don't expect anything to come back for this other than guilty. And they haven't provided any defense of anything at all. And that's normally happens in a court case. The first person to go is the prosecution. Then the defense gets their go to do it as well. Yeah, there's one other bit I want to talk to you about. In the messages to Kate McCann, she urged Mrs. McCann to agree to an official DNA test to prove she was her daughter. Julia said she would set up a GoFundMe page to pay for the test and explained away differences between her and Madeline's appearance by saying she was ugly and fat because of medication I was given. Your assumption may be right in the fact of the last bit, but in no relation to Madeline McCann. And they say in the voicemail messages, Wandelt speaks with a strong Polish accent and becomes emotional at times. She begs Mrs. McCann for a DNA test and tells her she is her daughter and claims to remember trying to shout out Mummy and Daddy on the night she was abducted. Jurors were also told that on one occasion, Wandelt sent a message every 2 seconds, with 5 messages sent in 7 seconds to Kate McCann's mobile. Bonkers, right? It's bonkers. Yeah. Just I don't know how you defend this at all. What is she going to come out and say? I really am Madeline. Let's put the court case on hold and let's do another DNA test. Is that what she's going to do? Because I don't think the court's going to buy that. I don't think they would appreciate that. I think they're basically going to be like, please go away. Please stop talking to us. Yeah, don't think they want anything to do with this woman. Yeah, I'll show you this. Let's go to GB News and I'll play this little video for you from their Facebook page.
A woman suspected of stalking Kate and Jerry McCann broke down in court today, screaming, "Why are you doing this to me?" when presented with irrefutable proof she is not missing Madeleine McCann. The court heard the Polish woman Julia Wandelt had allegedly even turned up at the McCann's home, claiming to be their daughter, as well as sending unwanted text messages and phone calls. As Kate McCann gave evidence at Leicester Crown Court today, the 24-year-old Wandelt shouted, "Why are you doing this to me?" before being escorted out of the courtroom to calm down. Kate, opening up for the first time, had told jurors Wandelt and her co-accused Karen Spragg of Cardiff showed up at the family home in December last year, making her feel distressed. Kate said the Polish girl called her mum. Co-defendant Spragg allegedly asked Kate, "Don't you want to find your daughter?" Mrs. McCann said she felt invaded in her own home as the two women allegedly continued to bang on her front door. She received a letter addressed to Mum the next day, signed from Madeline. She told the court,
"It was the thing I wanted the most, for all this pain, for Manny to be back and calling me Mom. Referring me as a mom was hard, and she said it a few times about Jerry being controlling, which had no truth."
Kate said officers investigating Madeline's disappearance had notified them of the alleged stalker. The parents concluded Wandelt was not their daughter, but the girl continued contact. "I never lied, I'm not crazy, please let me prove it," she pleaded. Today, Kate said,
"I know I can't say what Madeline looks like now, but I know I'd recognise her."
Yeah, I do agree. I think if Kate McCann and Jerry McCann saw their own daughter, they would be able to recognize her. Even all these years later, they would just know. And I believe that too. And I think that like it'd be one of those things you just would see her and you'd be like, that's my daughter. And yeah, you hear this type of stuff yelling in court. That was last week. Why are you doing this to me? Because of your own actions. How is that so hard to grasp? You are sitting in a courtroom, you've been in jail because of your own actions. Yeah, so I'll tell you a bit more about that. They said a Polish woman who claimed to be missing Madeleine McCann broke down in tears when a jury was told she is not the missing girl. Julia shouted out "no" in Polish before rushing to the back of the dock. And they saying here, this was when Michael Duck KC said there was scientific evidence she is not Madeleine McCann. So not only does she speak in Polish when upset, she just reverts to Polish and not English, which is fine. We are friends with our Polish people. We like them. But it just shows you that she is not an English girl. She's not Madeleine McCann. Just Call Me Kim says, "You are mentally ill. Let us prove it." That's right. Let us prove you're not Madeleine and you are mentally ill. Kim says, "What year did Madeleine disappear?" 2007. I'm interested. You guys in America didn't get the kind of coverage about Madeleine McCann. It was massive in Australia. In Australia and the UK, it was literally one of the biggest stories ever. Just crazy how in depth it was. Hold on. I found something from years ago and I want to show it to you. Hold on. Now, I'm not sure how much I can show to you of it, but this is what we saw years and years ago on Sky News UK. This is when Madeleine was abducted. This was when the story broke on Sky News in the UK. Here, I'll play a little bit of it for you, just a few seconds.
Some more breaking news for you this morning. We're just hearing that a search is underway for a 3-year-old British girl who's gone missing in the Algarve area of Portugal. And she went missing last night. Hundreds of people have been searching for the girl, and that search continuing this morning. So we will try to get as much on that as for you as soon as we can. That missing girl in Lutz, and we will bring it to you as soon as we get further detail. Let's just bring.
So that was the original broadcast when they had the breaking news, and we really all didn't know much about Madeleine McCann or who she was or why she had gone missing. and that was the original broadcast of it. This is what we saw in 2007, and the coverage was rolling. They had 24-hour round the clock coverage for, I think it was a week or so, at least a week, every day, just constant. They had people that had flown out to Portugal. They had reporters on the ground in the town. They had like 24-hour people just hanging out in the town doing live broadcasts and things like that. It was pretty crazy. Night Janitor says it's unbelievable to me that it was almost 20 years ago. Yeah, next year, 2 years from now, it'll be 20 years. Rachel said, "Oh, really? I did not see that." Texas says, "I remember the story that yes, the family were on holiday in Portugal at the time when they were at dinner, and they were at the tapas restaurant. What the McCanns say is they left the children in the room. So the twins, who were just babies at the time, and their older sibling, Madeline McCann, they would go from the restaurant, from the tapas restaurant, to the hotel room and check on the children every so often. Now, we don't really have a time of how often they did that, because depending on who you speak to out of their group, tells you the time changes. Somebody said every 15 minutes, somebody said once an hour, somebody said every 45 minutes. So it's hard to know, but at least once an hour, an adult would go up and check on the children in the room. Some point between being at the restaurant and then going to check on the children again, they walked into the room and noticed that Madeline was not there. So, yes, tapas. That's what we always do on a Friday night, right, Danny? Isn't that what we do, buddy? No, tapas. So if you're classic Spanish food, if you don't know what that is, um, yeah, more for like tapping ass. That's right. Yeah, I will show you. If you guys don't know what tapas is, yeah, go here. So it's this type of food. You get it in Spain and Portugal and all around that area, and it's like little finger food. I've had it before. You get all different things. Sometimes it's seafood, sometimes it's pork, sometimes it's ham. It's all different, like little tiny dishes. That's sort of what it. Yeah, it can be a variety of things, but sort of like that. So they went to a tapas restaurant. That has a different meaning. Danny's one does, yeah. Betsy said I would have stayed in. That's so irresponsible. A lot of people believe that. Chipmunk said it has. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, yeah, that's right. They went out at night to a restaurant to tap ass. That's what they did. They went out there and that's what they were doing. They were there to tap asses all night. They were very busy tapping asses. That's right. No, they were at a restaurant. So they were at this restaurant. They'd go back up to the hotel room and check on the kids. And at some point, Madeline went missing. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'll show you. I think I've shown this on the show before, but I'll show it to you anyway. Go here. So this is where the restaurant is, down here by the pool, and where the red is here, I'm pretty sure it's this one, the middle. I think it's the middle one where Madeline McCann was taken from. So right here. So the parents would go from this restaurant, walk up here, and then walk up to the apartments here, and then check on the children. And that's the distance they were from it. So, Gayla said to me it was really far. It's not super close. It's not, yeah, it's not super close, is it? It's a little far away. I'm trying to find a better. Which one was she in again? Oh, no. Okay, I'll show it to you. Madeline McCann was on this end one, so the one furthest to the right. The one furthest to the right is the one that she was in. It's this one here that borders the road. This is the one that Madeline McCann, her siblings, and the parents were staying in over here. There is another view, if I can show it to you. Yeah, this one. So there is the route that they would have taken from the restaurant and then back up and then back down again to check on the child. So yeah, there you go. Yes. Yeah, it's this one here that's on the screen, the one on the end. So you guys can tell me what you think about having a child alone in that hotel room with two siblings while mom and dad have dinner. Now, one of the things that people bring up is the hotel had a babysitting service that you could hire. They had sort of like a person who would keep an eye on your children for you while you were at dinner or going out for the night, something like that. They had like a babysitting service. Now, I don't know. You tell me whether you would do that or stay at home, eat in the building. I don't know. Take them with you to the restaurant. Danny said, I also won't let a 4-year-old play outside alone. We'll get to that in a minute. Texas says, how old was Madeline? She was 3, if I remember correctly. 3 years old. Am I going mental? I could be going mental. Let's see, Madeline McCann. Thought she was 3 when she went missing. Yeah, 3 years old. She was 3 years old in 2007. If she's alive today, she would be almost 20. She'd be 18. So she'd be just an adult right now. She would be just out of high school, just about to go to university, that type of thing. Jackie said, I would never leave my kids alone in a hotel room. Rachel said, yeah, just hire the service. True. Woman of Steel said, why hire a stranger when you have a 3-year-old? That's true. Texas Roadrunner said, a 3-year-old watching Twins. No, I don't think she was watching the Twins. I think the Twins were asleep already, if I remember correctly. And then they put Madeline to bed too. The kids were supposed to be sleeping. Marjorie says, those kids are too small to be left alone. Woman of Steel said 21. It wouldn't be 21, right? We're in 2025. 2007. We'd have to get to 2027. Yeah. So no, she'd be 18, right? Jojo said, oh, okay. Different one. Gayla said, the year before this happened, I was on holiday with my friends and our children. We could reach our balcony from the bar, but we put all the kids in one room and one adult sat on the balcony with them. That's a good idea. So there you go. That is sort of how it happened and how Madeline went missing. And then to today, nothing has ever been found. No one has even put in a sighting that can be verified of Madeline past that day. There's nothing. No one. No one has seen her. No one has found anything. There's been no verified anything. And it's been one of the greatest mysteries, really, of the world. It's been one of the greatest sort of missing children's mysteries for the last almost 20 years. So I can tell you that the McCanns arrived at that resort on the 28th of April 2007, and they were staying for a 7-night spring break in Praia de Luz. And they say they had booked the holiday through a British holiday company called Mark Warner Limited and were placed in Unit 5A, an apartment owned by a retired teacher from Liverpool, one of several privately owned properties the company rented. So it was a privately owned, sort of like what do they call it today? Now I'm having a mental blank. Whatever they call it today, where you rent people's like private home. This is how they did it almost 20 years ago. Nowadays, we use a website where you just rent the property from someone. Now back in the day, you had to go through an agent to get a holiday property. All right, hold on a sec. I need a drink. Yes, you guys are right. Airbnb. So imagine that the Airbnb, this was how they did it before Airbnb was a thing. You would have to go through a company and they would have clients that they regularly, had properties from, and then they would rent them out to families on holiday. That's sort of how it happened. Lindy said, my understanding is that they were seated outside. Sort of. Here, I can show you. The restaurant did have, there's like seating here, and then at the front here, there's seating as well. If I can find the front photo here. So there is seating out here, and then to the left, all the way to the left, there's more courtyard seating, and then there should be, there's some to the right as well. So this is the restaurant right here, and it's right near the pool. So no, they couldn't see the room. No. Marlene said they were in like a hardcover patio. It's right there. May 12th, 2003. She's 1 month younger than my grandson, so he'd be 22. May 12th, 2003. It's a 4-year difference. So there you go. But yeah, close birthdays between your grandson and Madeline. Sort of close anyway, or the date she went missing anyway. All right. So that's all I have for today. I'll have more information on Madeline tomorrow. By the way, this is such an awful photo of Julia, and they constantly use it. This one here. Why they use this photo constantly, I don't know. But they use this very unflattering photo of Julia all the time. Yeah, it was in the evening, so dinner time. Yeah. Kim says my daughter was born in October that year. Were you guys watching this case at the time? Chipmunk said things were different 30 plus years ago with how kids were left home alone and it was fine. Things have changed. Definitely things have changed. Definitely. Marlene said there are no good photos. No. Woman of Steel said, I'm sure it's done on purpose. It could be. It very much could be. All right. I don't think I have any decent photos of, we try and be somewhat respectful. All right. I want to talk about Gus. Now, we had a lot of people comment on Gus yesterday. Now, the search is underway. They've been back out there today, and I've been keeping an eye on the news to see if there's been any update on Gus. But so far, this afternoon, it has been very quiet. No real good updates. I don't think they've found anything, at least not that they've been telling anyone. Not yet, anyway. I'm just checking if there's anything. No. No new information. I'm just going to check the S-Poll website too. Yeah, so it doesn't look like there's been an update this afternoon, but I'll take you to the advertiser who had an update about the renewed search for him. So SA Police also made a task force called Task Force Horizon, and that is formed to look for Gus. So they've made a new task force to sort of bring in different people from different areas of the PD. So that could be from missing persons. It could be from name a section. It could be from homicide. It could be from uh, all sorts of different. It could be from technology department. So they make these task force so they can bring in members from different parts of the police department to sort of help. And if they do it under one banner, then that's how they justify it with the department and stuff like that. And they're saying here that they announced the formation of the task force, a team dedicated to finding Gus. Now, there you go. There's some of the military who are out there helping with the search on the property. And they are saying that the resumption of the search was not due to suspicion of foul play. The family are cooperating with the police inquiry. We have nothing to suggest foul play at this time, but we're obligated to consider every possibility. Our efforts are focused on comprehensively searching the property, and we're endeavoring to recover Gus for his family. He reinforced the search was a recovery operation. They say, we're still looking for Gus, and that's really important to the family, to us, and for everybody who's been involved. They say they've got 80 ADF personnel up on the property this morning being coordinated by field search controllers that are police officers with SAPD, really just making sure that we leave no stone unturned. 80 ADF personnel, that is Australian Defence Force. So they have 80 members up there looking on this property for him. There you go. But apparently they're also saying here that the town are hoping they can find that little boy. You can see like some of the people are camping out here, sleeping on like these type of like army provisions, these little tents and like little beds, mobile beds. They are really roughing it to try and find that young boy. You know, well done to our military for coming out and trying to help. They say here, yeah. So the people in the community wish the family well and hope that they can find the young boy. And there you go. You get a view of how some of the military are sleeping in this oval. They're just sort of on these tents and on the ground, and no trace of Gus at all. Nothing so far. I haven't seen any updates this afternoon. If they had found something, you would have thought, being that it is 4:30, they got started at like 8 a.m. this morning. It's been a long day searching out on the property, and so far, no updates at all. Yeah, nothing at all, unfortunately. So that is very sad. I don't know how long they're going to search up there or keep the search going, but I will tell you if we get anything new on it, I will let you know. But right now, after one day of searching, no updates as of yet. No updates. All right. Let's go to this one here. I've got an update for you. Uh, why is this not coming up? Yep. Now I want to talk about this. This is really, really sad, and I feel for the family a lot. So I'm going to take you here, and we're going to talk about Ellen Greenberg. So hold on a second. There we go.
Now to a story of tremendous controversy surrounding the death of a Philadelphia teacher. A new report ruled the death as a suicide.
Ellen Greenberg died in 2011 after being stabbed more than 20 times. And now for the second time, doctors saying the evidence shows it was by her own doing. Tonight, her family fiercely disputing that.
Action News reporter Cheyenne Corinne joins us now live outside Philadelphia Police headquarters with this story tonight. Cheyenne.
Good evening, Gray and Shari. This review issued by the Philadelphia Medical Examiner is 32 pages long. In the end, Ellen Greenberg's death was again ruled a suicide. Today, we spoke with the family's lawyer ahead of another hearing tomorrow, and he called this report an embarrassment.
Despite having anticipated this and been expecting it, there's always that little glimmer of hope.
After another review of her controversial death, it was again ruled that Ellen Greenberg died by suicide. On January 26, 2011, the Philadelphia school teacher was found in her locked Manayunk apartment by her fiance she lived with. Autopsy results showed she had been stabbed 20 times in the neck, back, head, and heart. She also had 11 bruises.
The question for the ME was never whether he did it, it was whether she did.
According to the report, 3 superficial stab wounds and 20 more bruises were revealed in this review. However, the medical examiner wrote, while this distribution of injuries is admittedly unusual, Ellen would be capable of inflicting these injuries herself, especially since she struggled with anxiety.
Now, I'll stop it there for a minute. I'll explain what I read as well. I read some of the report. They're saying that the absence of self-defense wounds on Ellen also goes towards their theory of S-word. They also said that her disruption to her medication and her being trialed on a new dosage of medication also goes into their theory of that she had a panic attack or anxiety induced sort of depression slash anxiety attack, and that she did this to herself. They also said that they believe some of the wounds on the back of her neck are what they would consider hesitation wounds. And what do they mean by that? Well, it's as it sounds, that she hesitated to stab herself. And they're using that as justification for S-word finding. That they believe no defensive wounds, hesitation wounds, and the alteration of her anxiety medication all comes together to paint it as their original finding. I don't know what you guys think, but I am very, very upset for her family. And I want to know if they can find me a case anywhere else in the world where someone has been able to inflict that kind of damage to their own spine, their own skull, their own brainstem, and do it multiple times. If you can show that to me, then I might believe you. But like they said, her wound pattern is unusual. Okay, well, I would like to see more evidence of it ever being done before by a human. All right, here, I'll play the rest.
This report, if you read it all the way through, seems to be written more to exculpate Ellen's fiance.
This latest conclusion goes against the latest statement made by the medical examiner who originally conducted the autopsy. The pathologist first ruled Greenberg's death a homicide. Weeks later, he switched it to a suicide, a conclusion that has remained for 14 years. But in January, he said Greenberg's death should be designated something other than suicide.
The fight isn't over.
We spoke to Ellen's parents recently before the docuseries about her death was released on Hulu. This latest review came after the office was ordered to conduct an independent and unbiased review following the family's lawsuits against the city.
The story is just so compelling, and we've discovered so many inconsistencies.
And the family's lawyer said they did not expect to receive this report last Friday before the next court date. There actually is another scheduled hearing tomorrow, and they say they are not sure what's to come. Live at police headquarters, Cheyenne Kren for Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Shari.
Yeah, this has really gotten the attention of so many people. Okay, Cheyenne, thanks.
All right, so I have that report here, and I'm just having a look through it here from Lindsay Simon, MD, and his review of Philadelphia Mio case 11-0420 Ellen Greenberg. And they're saying here the medical examiner's office was asked to conduct an independent and unbiased review of all available materials relating to the death of Ellen Greenberg. And they're saying here, the ultimate question to be answered by this review was whether the manner of death should be changed from the current ruling of S word to could not be determined or to homicide. The review was conducted independently by the undersigned and with all opinions being those of the undersigned without influence by any of the involved parties. And I'm going to go down to the conclusion bit here. We already know some of the other bits here. Let me go down to their final findings and I'll read it to you. Yeah. Final analysis of Ellen's death. They say to summarize the entirety of this report, Ellen Greenberg was a young woman suffering from anxiety at the time of her death. The anxiety appeared mostly to be due to her work as a teacher. She was specifically worried about the grades that she needed to submit on the day of her death and would indicate that she had previously given inflated grades to her students. She expressed this anxiety about her grades to friends, co-workers, and her fiance in the hours leading up to her death. She was under the care of a psychiatrist for this anxiety. While her recent change in medications had helped with the insomnia associated with her anxiety, she did not survive long enough to address the anxiety itself. Thus, she had an increase in energy to act on her anxious thoughts. She was found dead in her apartment with 23 stab and incised wounds. These wounds were limited to her posterior, head and neck, right neck, and central front torso. While the distribution of injuries is admittedly unusual, the fact remains that Ellen would be capable of inflicting these injuries herself. Many of these stab and incised wounds would be best to be characterized as hesitation wounds. No defensive injuries were identified on her body, and there were no evidence to indicate Ellen was incapacitated or incapable of defending herself. The fiance's DNA was not detected on the knife used to inflict the injuries. His self-reported timelines of events is corroborated by phone logs, text messages, surveillance footage, keycard swipes, and police interviews. No evidence was provided to indicate Ellen was in an abusive relationship with her fiance. There was no evidence of a third party being in the apartment on the day of Ellen's death, nor was anyone else's DNA detected on the knife used to inflict the injuries on Ellen's body. No findings of a struggle were found at the scene, and no valuables were reported missing from the apartment. With all this information considered, it is the opinion of the undersigned that the manner of Ellen Greenberg's death is best classified as S-word. All opinions stated in this report are expressed with a reasonable degree of medical certainty and they say the undersigned reserves the right to amend any statements or opinions if presented with additional significant information. So there you go. That is the final analysis of their findings for Ellen Greenberg. So there you go. Night Jonas says, yeah, me too. Ping suffers from very bad anxiety. I also get insomnia from my anxiety. Often intrusive thoughts keeping me awake at night. And it's a problem I have had for 20 years, unfortunately. not something I've ever been able to find any cure for, and I've had to live with it for a long time. So, me too. I also know what it is like. Chipmunk says, I need to see someone play this out the way they think it was done. That is true. Rachel said she was moved as well. The dried blood on her face proves that. She was also covered in bruises. I agree. Yeah, so that is their finding. Kim says she wasn't in a abusive relationship and the ME knows this. How? I don't know. Chipmunk said the smart ones are up at night like an owl. Like an owl. But yeah, very awful. I feel sorry for her family. They worked tirelessly for years to try and get this overturned. And I think recently they thought they had finally got over that hurdle. And to have that come out today is just horrible. Really is. Yeah, let me see. Is that the one we just... Okay. Let me show you one more video from CBS in Philadelphia, the local city.
Development here on a story that we have been covering for nearly 15 long years. Ellen Greenberg's suspicious death has again been ruled a suicide.
Yeah, investigative reporter Liz Crawford has looked over the medical examiner's report and she has the latest details. Liz.
Well, guys, the Greenberg family is outraged and their attorney called the report an embarrassment. So let me catch you up on how we got here. Ellen Greenberg's murder was ruled a suicide in 2011 after her fiancé broke into her Manayunk apartment and found her with more than 20 stab wounds. But after an autopsy, a medical examiner changed the finding from suicide to homicide. Then at a meeting months later between police and the medical examiner's office, the ruling was amended again, with suicide being the cause of death. Ellen Greenberg's parents have long believed their daughter was murdered, and after hiring independent experts who confirmed that, their attorney called the incident a botched police investigation and cover-up. They went on to sue the city, and part of the settlement reached earlier this year required the city to re-examine her death. That brings us to today, a 32-page report signed just 3 days ago. In it, the chief medical examiner of Philadelphia says, while the distribution of injuries is admittedly unusual, the fact remains that Ellen would be capable of inflicting these injuries herself. The report also notes that she was a young woman suffering from anxiety. In a statement, the attorney for Greenberg's family said in part, Ellen's family just wanted the truth. It is clear the truth will not come from Philadelphia's law enforcement machinery. Though Ellen's city turned its back on her, we will continue through other avenues to get justice for her murder by any means necessary. Now,
there you go. I think that was the statement. Here you go. It's also here. Thanks to Rachel. And they say MEO Simpson's so-called independent review of Ellen Greenberg's death is deeply flawed, and it's an attempt to justify a predetermined conclusion. It includes false claims like the assertion that a stab wound in Ellen's spinal column was made during autopsy, a theory rejected by every credible expert, including the city's own neuropathologist. By ignoring key evidence that contradicts S-word, the extensive 3D photogrammetry, okay, a recreation which proves Ellen could not self-inflict all the wounds, unexplained bruises, missing surveillance footage, an intact lock, accounts of a toxic relationship, and they say Simon builds a flimsy case on distorted portrayals of Ellen's mental health, propped up by cynical distortions of Ellen's managed anxiety, a condition widely experienced daily by over 40 million Americans. Then they say, shame on you, Simon. They say this report is tripe, an embarrassment to the city, an insult to Ellen and her family. Ellen's family just wanted the truth. It's clear the truth will not come from Philadelphia's law enforcement machinery. Though Ellen's city turned its back on her, we will continue through other avenues to get justice for her murder by any means necessary. So, there you go. Marlene said she was on some heavy drugs, was she? I can't remember what one she was on. Betsy said, "Has anyone come out with another suspect or how she did it?" I think there's some insinuation that it might have been the boyfriend. I mean, I can't verify that, but that's just my sort of take on it. I'm not implicating him. I'm just saying that's what I've noticed. Let's see. Yeah, even Australia in Sky News Australia is covering it too. It even made the news down here. Stunning new ruling in mysterious 2011 stabbing death of Philadelphia teacher Ellen Greenberg. So it even made the news down here, down under, which is pretty rare. It doesn't happen that often that an American case will get an article in this part of the world. So there's the knife that did all those inflicted stab wounds that you hear about. Oh, beside him? I don't think so. Chipmunk said she supposedly fall on the knife for the back of the head. I think they suggest that she did it like this. So she bent her arm over and then stabbed herself like that. And with the hesitation cuts, they're saying that action may have been, because stabbing yourself is not very nice, I guess. But they're saying that that's why she has hesitation wounds. I mean, maybe. I don't think so. I don't. Yeah, there's a diagram. They showed one in the video we watched before, if I can go back there. Hold on, let me reboot this. Hold on, let me reboot this. Is that the right one? That's not the right one. This one? Let me see. There was a one that we looked at here. There is the diagram. This is the nicer one. There is a different one that's more graphic, but I'll use this one for now. But there's the diagram of the wounds for you. Kim says it's like poison. Who would choose to die this way? I don't know. Not me. Where did the knife come from? The home. From the home. She would have had drugs in her system. Yeah. So, yeah. There you go. Very sad. Very sad. Night Jenner said, "Did they explain what order the wounds are supposed to be done in?" I think they did with the medical examiner, the first one, or not the first one, the review of it. Not this one. There was another review, and I think they did say it's the back of the one, and then supposedly the back and then the front, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't remember if we know exactly what order they went in. Yeah. But yes, this is the that is the knife that they reckon is responsible for it. The family did. The family got a settlement from the state. But I think what they really wanted, they wanted that designation on the medical file. They wanted it to be changed to, I think, undetermined. They wanted it to be on that one. Hold on, I'll find it. It's at the top of this document. Yeah, they wanted it to be changed to could not be determined or homicide, but they would have taken could not be determined rather than S word. So that report is out there if you would like to read it. It has the timeline here. I might just grab this. It has the official timeline in it. I will put it up so people can see it. If we go here. there's a timeline for you, and it shows you what the official, well, what the timeline is. It says 1:32 p.m. Ellen enters the parking garage of the apartment complex per keycard swipe, and then at 1:53 p.m. the fiance enters the parking garage of the apartment complex. That is also taken from a keycard swipe, and then it says fiance goes to the gym at the apartment building, again with the keycard swipe, also corroborated by surveillance video in the lobby. And then it's just more about his movements. Here, I'm just trying to read down it. So 911 is called by the fiance 5 hours later at 6:33 p.m. So they get home at 1:53, and the ambulance is called, sorry, that's like 5 hours later. 5 hours later at 6:31 p.m. Oh, wait, 6:33 p.m. The 911 is called. Medics respond at 6:35 p.m. Very quick time. 6:37 p.m. Officers from the Philadelphia PD respond. At 6:40, Ellen is pronounced dead at the scene, and then 2 minutes later, firemen on surveillance footage getting on a lobby elevator. And then a couple of minutes after that, police are on that surveillance getting on a lobby elevator. And then at 8:15, an hour and a half later, detectives from the Philadelphia PD respond. And then at 8:27, MEO investigator arrived at scene. That's medical examiner. And then at 9:20, homicide detectives from the Philadelphia PD respond. And then at 9:55, final document assessment of the body at the scene made by the medical examiner investigator. And then at 11:25 p.m., fiance arrived by police transport to the Northwest Detectives Division of the Philadelphia PD for questioning. So that takes you through all of the timeline for it. I don't have that on here. Does it say that? It doesn't say that, but I believe you if you say she did. If you say she filled her car with gas, I believe you. All right. Yeah, his family is the Shapiro family. You are right. His 911 call is very strange. We could probably listen to it. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it or not from someone who's not a true crime reporter, creator, because we can't do that. I don't know if I can get it from someone who's not a person with true crime. Here. All right, here we go. Ah, really? Far out. Hold on, guys. To log in. All right, let me see if we can get into it or not. Jeez, you have to get into everything, right? Come on. Stupid thing. Sorry, guys. Hopefully it'll let us in 1 second. Jeez, come on. All right, fine. There we go.
This is Donna De Los, number 297, assigned to Police Radio. The following is a reproduction of telephone and radio transmission.
Walked to my apartment. My fiance's on the floor with blood everywhere.
1 p.
Help! I need a emergency now. I just walked to my apartment. My fiance's on the floor with blood everywhere.
What is the address?
4601 Flat Rock Road. Please come. Help now.
4601
Flat Rock Road.
Is it the house or apartment?
Oh no! Oh no!
Apartment.
It's an apartment.
What apartment number?
603.
Apartment 603.
603. Please hurry, please.
Where is she bleeding from?
I don't know. I can't tell. She's.
No, sir, you have to calm yourself down in order to get you some help.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm looking at her right now. I can't see anything. There's nothing broken. She's bleeding. Ellie.
You don't know where she's bleeding from? Can't tell where the blood's coming from?
I think her head. I think she hit her head, I think. But it's everywhere.
Okay, sir,
it's everywhere.
I think she might have fallen. Do you know what happened?
She may have slipped. There's blood on the table. Her face is a little purple.
Okay, hold on for rescue for her. Stay on the phone.
Philadelphia Fire Department 842. What's the address? No.
4601 Flat Rock Road. Please hurry.
4601 Flat Rock?
Yes.
What's wrong?
I went downstairs to go work out. I came back up. The door was latched. My fiance's inside. She wasn't answering. So after about a half hour, I decided to break it down. I see her now just on the floor with blood. She's not responding.
Okay. Is she breathing? Look at her chest. I need you to calm down, and I need you to look at her chest. It's really.
I really don't think she is.
Listen to me. Someone's on the way. Look at her chest. Is she flat on her back?
She's on her back. So I bring her.
Look at her chest and tell me if it's going up and down, up and down.
I don't see her moving.
Okay. Do you know how to do CPR?
I don't.
Okay. I can tell you what to do. Okay, until they get there. I want you to keep her flat on her.
God.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, okay.
Are you willing to do CPR with me over the phone until they get there?
I have to, right?
Okay, so get her flat on her back, bare her chest, okay? You want to rip her shirt off.
Oh, shit.
Okay? Just kneel down by her side.
Oh, my God. Ellie, please.
Listen.
Yeah, I've heard this before myself, this 911 call, and some of the responses are very odd. You know, we never know how people react in grief, I guess, but like saying like he can't tell where she's injured. What do you mean? What about all the stab wounds to her chest and her neck? And what about the knife? What about the knife? You can't see the knife? I mean, very, very odd, very odd. It's very, very strange. Is that what he said? I didn't hear it. Yeah, he didn't notice the knife, right? Lindy, I agree. It is a bit phony, isn't it, my friend? It's very, very concerning when you hear this type of stuff. Even in a 911 call, it's a bit. One, it's very sad, and yeah, it's like, what do you mean you can't see where she's injured? Yeah, that always didn't make sense to me. There's a couple more minutes left. I'll play. It's only like 2 more minutes.
You can't freak out, sir, because you.
Okay, I'm trying not to. Her shirt won't come off. It's a zipper. Oh my God! She stabbed herself.
Where?
She fell with a knife. Oh no, her knife's sticking out.
Her what?
There's a knife sticking out of her heart.
Oh, she stabbed herself?
I guess so. I don't know where she fell on it. I don't know.
Okay, well, don't touch it.
Okay, so I just let her down here now. I mean, what do I do?
No, I mean, you can't. If the knife is in her chest, it's going to be kind of hard for you to do CPR at this time.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Police, which operator?
277.
Is someone coming here?
Yes, they are. You said 4601 Flat Rock, right?
Yes.
Okay, someone's on the way. And the knife is still inside?
Wait, so what?
The knife is still inside of her?
Yes, I didn't take it out.
You know, I actually learned this the other day. 911 call operators don't instruct people to remove knives. And I learned I didn't know about this until like a couple of days ago. But apparently if you pull out a knife, the person has a higher chance of bleeding out. Now, look, Ellen was probably dead already. But I mean, in a different case where someone is stabbed once and the knife is in them, apparently if you pull it out, they have a higher chance of bleeding out. But if you keep the knife in there, apparently they have a chance of it slows the bleeding because there's something in there stopping the blood from coming out. It's almost like a cork on the wound. So they instruct you to put pressure around the knife and the wound. Yeah, interesting. So that's I didn't know that till the other day.
Her chest or what area?
It's in her chest. It's like it looks like it's right in her heart.
Okay, someone's on the way out there. Okay, just get.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Okay,
How old is
thank you.
she?
She's 27.
27, and there's no sign of life at all. Like, been turned to her arm.
No, please don't be. What?
Been turned to her arm and tell me if she responds to pain.
She's Ellie. She's not. Her arm, her hands are still warm. I don't know if that means, but there's blood everywhere. I mean.
I know, but you can't, and the knife is still inside of her. How far? Can you see how far it went in?
It looks pretty deep.
Okay.
It looks it's a long knife.
Don't touch anything. Yeah, don't touch anything. Okay.
I'm not touching anything. I can't believe this though.
So wait, it was just you there with her?
We're the only ones here.
And she ran in the door. You said latched it shut.
No. I went downstairs to work out, and when I came back up, the door was latched. Like it was, it wasn't like it was, it was like locked from the inside, and I'm yelling. And so I'm
was
yelling.
Your house broken into?
No.
So there's no sign of a break-in?
No sign of a break-in at all. I mean, there will be when you get here because I had to break the latch, but to get in.
Okay, 4601 Flat Rock, and this is a house, right?
It's an apartment, apartment 603.
Okay, that'll help. Apartment 603.
Oh my God. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
There you go. By the way, I want to thank our friend Marlene Clausen. Marlene, thank you so much for the donation. It's very kind of you. Very sweet of you, my friend. It is a lot of people who are very kind and support this channel, and I appreciate it very, very much. Our new video person who's working on making us some ending videos is gathering all the names for the last couple of weeks to put at the end of the video. So she is working on it right now. And Marlene, your name will go at the end as a small thank you and, for appreciation and things like that. So thank you very much. Give me 1 second. I'm going to give away some memberships to people because we're about to go into our member video in a minute. Actually, we're a little late already. So we're going to go over there in a second. So 1 minute, I'm going to give away some memberships to people. Wait, I think hold on. Make sure you have gifting on. If you want a membership, make sure you have gifting on, otherwise you won't get one. Oh, that's not how we do that. Good work, Ping. That's not how we do that. All right, this is how we do it. I have to hear my own stupid voice. Hold on. All right, there we go. Gave away some memberships. Hope you have gifting on, and I hope people who don't have a membership will hopefully get one. Yes, I hope that's what we'll do. Yeah, well, that's what he said anyway. That's what he said. Yeah, but thank you to my friend Marlene Clausen. I appreciate it. It's very, very kind of you guys. Someone said that we should put like a thing up the top because we're raising money for the trial next year to go to Samantha Murphy's trial. Someone said we should have like a targety thing up the top, and I'm like, that's so stupid. Like, I don't like those things, and it feels like it pressures people to want to donate or whatever, and I don't want to pressure anyone. So, I mean, it's sort of a okay idea, but I don't know, sort of not great. All right, who got the memberships? Who got the memberships? Let's see. Let me check my other panel. Whiskey Boots got one. Andrea got one. Just Another Human got one. Old One got one, and Cheryl Huffman got one as well. Here, I'm going to give away another 5 for the nice people in the chat. Yeah, where is it? No, that's not how you do that. You have to do it like this. All right, another 5 given away. There we go. All right, that's it. That's all the ones I have. I don't have any more. That's all the ones I have for this month. You guys get them all in one go. All right, let me check who got those ones. Sam got one. Robert got one. Queen got one. JDR got one. Hey, JDR, no, JRC, and Charisma got one. Good to have you guys. Thank you very much. Glad you guys could get them. Yes, I agree. Kim says put it up. Maybe. We'll see. All right, that's it for tonight. I'm out of here. I'm going to start our members only show in about 3 minutes. I hope to see our members over there. We're going to continue talking about some true crime over there. Hey, thanks to Marlene Clausen. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You are very, very kind. The people who support this channel allow us to go to those sort of big trials and do that for multiple weeks at a time. That's hundreds of hours where a normal person would not be able to do that, because it's like a full-time job basically for 10 weeks. So those are the people who help do that every time we go out to one. I'll see you over on the members thing in a minute. Good night, everyone. Bye.